It is a nice, that is a nice,
Look
that's
at the
one of the
weather
best.
girls or something, you know what I mean?
One of the best green rooms I've ever been in.
Oh, you like that?
Great arcade to room ratio, that's nice.
How about the weather girls?
I was focused on arcade games.
Okay, well, I'm over here looking at the weather. It's a nice day today. Clear blue skies, clear blue eyes, and clear thick thighs.
Poetry.
That's my weather report. Now back to the desk. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'd like to welcome y'all inside the GGN. I'm your host with the most, Finding Nemo, AKA Nemo Hoes. And today, I have a very, very special guest on my show. This man right here is a pioneer in so many different ways. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and players, give it up for the one and only Alexis Ohanian. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
So where does your last name come from? What is that origin? Where does that come from? Because I've never heard that before.
The motherland is Armenia. So I'm Armenian.
So you Armenian?
Yes.
I got a lot of Armenian homies, man.
So they know. They're all my cousins.
Yeah, they're my family members, man. We get down, man. Armenians is gangsters, man. I like y'all.
So Ohanian is basically Johnson of, like, it's the Armenian version of Johnson. Very, very common name. It's something that's been a big part of my life since I was a little kid. You can't grow up and not have that identity implanted in your head. And I've had it took me way too long, but I've had the privilege of going back now 4 times.
To Armenia?
Yeah, I even went, when I left Reddit, I left to go basically volunteer in Armenia for 4 months, just trying to pay it forward because the country's still going through a lot.
Yeah, and that's your origin, so you got to go back.
Yeah.
It's like you got to touch bases with the people who gave you your foundation.
Yes, absolutely. I have everything I have thanks to the family members who sacrificed and obviously survived the genocide and here today.
But that's what it's all about, the next generation to take it further than those who couldn't. You know, you was privileged enough to get that position, so yeah, you a shout out for that, for taking your family name and your origin to a whole nother level, getting that respect that y'all deserve.
Yeah.
So when you started Reddit, where did that idea come from? Was that just I'm watching what's being created and I want to be creative, or did a friend come to you and say, we should create this?
We were seniors in college down in Virginia. This is 2005. So there was, Facebook was still in schools. It was still just a small side project. And with Reddit, we just didn't want to have real jobs. And we wanted to start something. And at the time, we were going to let people skip lines at restaurants by ordering food on their phone. So, like, you know, you want to go pick up some food, place the order, walk right in, it's waiting for you. We spent a year working on it. We pitched these investors called Y Combinator, and because we wanted money from them and their advice, and they rejected us. And the next morning, they called us back and said, we still don't like your idea. It's like, why are you going to call me just to tell me that? But we like you two.
Okay.
And if you change your idea, build something in a browser, don't do this mobile stuff. It was too early. This is 05. This is 4 years before the iPhone. Build something in a browser, solves your problem every morning, we'll give you money. And we did, and it was Reddit. And it was probably the best rejection of my life.
Y'all owned it, or did they own it?
Oh, no, they had equity as investors, but Steve and I were the primary owners and co-founders. Yeah. And actually, and you're an investor now, too.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
I worked my way in.
Smart man.
You understand me? I didn't mean to tell everybody, but I'm a part of Reddit too. You understand me? That's how you get in this high exclusive, top-notch interview. You done jumped the line. You got that new app where you jumped the line ahead of motherfucking guests that I had. Yeah, what app is that to get ahead of the guests that was in front of you? You jumped their asses. Y'all wait in the game room, nigga. Reddit's in here. Go play a game or something. Now, what about this president that we got, man? Because I have yet to say much about him, but I said a few things about the people who stood with him and the people who were going to rally around him before he went on this fuckery mission that he's on right now. And I knew it, I called it, I predicted it, like as if I was Dionne Warwick or some shit, because I knew this nigga was gonna act a damn fool once he got in office. What are your views towards Trump? Do you have any views? Would you like to speak on it, or do you not have a point of view at all?
Well, you know, I spoke out a bit before the election, and most recently I actually wrote an open letter that we published on Reddit. Over 1 million people actually have viewed it now, and it was an open letter about the immigration ban in particular. And
Because you are Armenian.
Yeah, I mean, my father's side of the family all fled the genocide. They were refugees, in fact, like literally Syrian refugees. And they got a chance in this country. And then my mother actually was undocumented for a year. She was an immigrant herself.
And Obama wasn't tripping. Basically, the nigga wasn't tripping. I mean, y'all got away, y'all good. Come on in.
You know, yeah, I think it was a chance. It was a chance for me to say something that was obviously very personal to me and something that I care about deeply. And it was a chance to invite Redditors, you know, a few 100 million of them, to tell their stories.
Because there were some people in there that had similar stories to you.
Even way more. I mean, you read these stories and you can't help but feel like I mean, that's what America's about. It's about the
land of the
people
free.
who are courageous enough and brave enough to leave everything behind
and start all over
and come
again.
to start from jump. Like people who had educations, who had lives, who had, I as someone who was born, I was born in Brooklyn. I was an American by the life lottery, and I obviously appreciate it, but not in the same way that an immigrant does. And I'm grateful that I had the perspective of immigrants in my family to keep me from childhood. And there are so many Americans here, so many people who are here who really appreciate this country on another level, and to see those kinds of policies put in place, as well as put in place so sloppily
and so quick
and unprofessionally, is awful. That's
somebody need to sign a document on your motherfucking orange face ass, you piece of shit. I roasted your ass, nigga. I have the right to talk about you. You bitch you. No, I'm not performing at none of them fuck no. And if I do have a meeting with you, nigga, we talking about these weed laws, about you breaking all of them and making this shit legal everywhere. That's the only conversation we gonna have. But this weed game, you understand money. Unlock it, nigga. Let us all in and unlock my homeboys that's in jail for this shit that we getting paid for. You dig? I'll talk to you later, Donald. And get back to the shit you was doing. But yeah, like I was saying, man, you know, sometimes I gotta check in with that nigga and let him know what it is, man.
Please do, because...
He listening, he watching.
I don't doubt that.
He got GGN on in his living room. Somebody telling him, man, he on right now. Hey, President, he's on right now.
Quick, come
What
here.
did he say? He called you a bitch again.
Oh, man.
Again, you bitch you. This is crazy though, man. Who the fuck would have thought that this motherfucker would have won and been running our country? I'm like in a game right now in my mind because I can't believe this shit.
Yeah, and I think for 8 years we didn't quite realize what we had, and wow, it's like it is such a shock to the system.
Ain't they what they say? You never miss what you had till it's gone.
Yeah.
Like people had so much shit to say about Obama after he came up, after the Bush regime, which was fucked up. He had to clean that shit up first. When he moved in the White House, he had to restructure it, clean the old shit out, get it together the first 2 years. Then he was able to begin his routine. And then once he got his routine going, he still had to deal with the criticism and the hate and the people that didn't agree with this or whatnot. But once his ass left that White House, you started to realize, damn, he wasn't so bad after all. Well, damn, he let us do this. He did that. He did this. Well, wow, the new one has no tolerance for none of this shit. He don't fuck with y'all, he don't fuck with us, he don't fuck with them. Yeah. So why we fucking with him?
It's, and I really do think the marches, the phone calls, like donations to the ACLU, those are all parts of a path to a solution. But if I'm an entrepreneur, so you gotta be optimistic, but it's a struggle some days with this, but I really do believe that if anything, this will be enough of a shock to our system that more and more Americans will become engaged and feel like they have to have a voice now because they're seeing what happens when we aren't engaged.
If you don't use your voice, this is what can happen.
Yeah.
So you sat back and you watched and you didn't, think it was gonna happen because you were so, I'm not really gonna get out and make it happen. I'll use my voice next time. You waited too late, the voice don't matter now. They got control of the voice now. So check this out. What is the Condé Nast?
So that was the company that bought us in 2006, 2006, which is the reason I could upgrade our tickets. And we worked there for 3 years and then realized it wasn't long term. Yeah. And went off and started some other stuff, got into investing, wrote a book. And then 2 years ago, my co-founder Steve Huffman and I were able to come back and take Reddit independent again.
Dope.
And hope to turn this thing into something really, really special.
Dope. So when you got Reddit up and running and you got it to the point where you wanted it at, did you ever feel that you wanted to go public? Or, because that's always the big question that everybody asks when you get into this world, because that's the ultimate exit plan. If you can get it to the highest number, will it make sense for you to sell it, considering that you and your buddy, this is y'all baby?
So we definitely learned from selling it the first time pretty early. We're not making that mistake again.
You better not.
Not making that mistake again. So, we're proud of, we've accomplished a lot in the last year and a half. Reddit's now the 7th most traffic site in the US, according to Alexa, 280 million monthly users. So we're happy, but we're not complacent. We want to have 1 billion.
Why not?
We want to be a place where people can come to find their people, to find their communities for the things they're passionate about, whether they want to talk about football, whether they want to talk about weed. Shout out to r/trees, great community. I know you know that one well.
Fucking amazing community. I fuck with trees.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that hooked me over there.
Yeah, it's the largest community of marijuana enthusiasts.
I'm like, what?
Just people sharing stories
I'm
and
invited.
photos and everybody is.
But that's the thing that I love about your shit. You have no parameters or restrictions or...
We have a few.
but it's not really, you know what I'm saying? If you fucking up, they're supposed to be meant for you. But for people who just want to get on and have a good time, it's for everybody.
Exactly.
The shit is fun.
And it's democratic in the sense that, it's great if you show up, people get excited. But it's not about how popular or how big of a celebrity you are. If you've got a really great, if you've got a really great photo of a really amazing bong, and enough people think, this is cool, they voted up to the front page, and now you have an audience of 500,000 people who are complimenting you on your amazing bong. Great. You don't have to necessarily be someone to get that platform, and I think that's an important tool, because there are voices who aren't famous or even internet famous, who still have something important to say or something cool to show.
Now this is the part I want to know about.
Okay.
My homegirl from the CPT. Serena Williams. Y'all got engaged.
That is correct.
In December. So when is the wedding?
Still figuring it out, hopefully before the end of the year.
She is the best, man.
She's amazing.
She is the best,
the greatest.
On the court, off the court, in life, the Williams family, man. This is beautiful, man. I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad that she found somebody that can appreciate her. You get what I'm saying? Because when you so far up in the game, sometimes you tend not to be appreciated for what you do off the court. Because so many people focus on what you're great at, but at the same time, you have a life too.
Yeah, and I'm a very happy man.
I'm a love doctor too, by the way. You understand me? I give out advice. One of my player partners called me today on some pimping this morning. He called for some pimping one-on-one, and I couldn't believe he called and asked me, but I had to give him the right advice. And sometimes the right advice is just advice that you don't want to hear, but sometimes it's right. And I'd rather be wrong than right. If loving you is right, then I'll be wrong.
Hi, I'm Stormy Fronts, and I'm reporting live from Pussyville, Pennsylvania, which is 16 miles away from Intercourse, Pennsylvania. And when you get inside, make sure you go to your basement with, a few of your friends, play around, because it's going to be really cold outside, and you want to stay as warm as you can. When you hike, you get nice and sweaty, really wet, you like that, and there's a pool you can jump in. What the fuck am I saying? Okay, since it's nice outside, you guys might want to take a nice long hike up Rattlesnake Ridge. Anyways, you're gonna get really, sorry.
So what's up with this open internet? What does the open internet mean? Give me that explanation, because I've heard the term before, but I need to know what open internet, what that actually means.
Basically, this idea that all content on the internet should be treated equally and fairly. So what I mean by that is, okay, you have a show, right? You can put this out onto the internet through YouTube, through podcasting, through whatever medium, and I or anyone else can get to it just as easily as CNN or Fox News. This idea that, the internet's great because you or anyone, someone sitting in their room right now can put together a video on YouTube, and that video is just as accessible to someone as this. And that's, again, back to that democratic nature of the internet, like that's what makes it work. That means someone coming up can win because they're really good.
Yeah.
And there are people, specifically people tied to like cable companies, who don't want that because they know they can make more money if they say, here's your basic internet plan. Like for $39.99 a month, you can get access to Facebook and Bing search. And if you're like, but I don't want to use Bing, I want to use Google. They're like, oh, that's fine, that's fine. It's an extra $10 a month. I mean, they do this with our cable bills, right? That's why you have the tiered system. They want to do the same thing to the internet bills and basically break the democratic nature of the open and free internet. And we've got a new head of the FCC, so it's going to be another fight and another time. One more thing that people will need to speak up for.
Okay, well, you have my voice on this. So the open internet, that's the cause that we pushing right now, for the simple fact that we got to keep it the way it is. This is a way for us to be able to communicate and keep our lines of communication open without checking with nobody, without it being regulated. This is how youngsters are being broke. I remember when Soulja Boy first came out, he broke his own self on the internet and created his own, fan base or whatnot. And I'm watching other artists do the same thing. I'm watching internet stars get 10 to 20 million views and people to support them and get behind them. And that privilege shouldn't be taken away because they deserve that, they earn that. And we going with this open internet shit, and whoever the fuck we got to fight with, nigga, we fighting.
All right.
What's happening? So you live in Frisco?
Yeah, that is where Reddit is headquartered. So, live in San Francisco. I have not converted to being a Niners fan.
You can't. They sorry as fuck. Now, this has been the 80s. It'd have been an easy transformation.
No, I wouldn't. You can't switch that allegiance. The Skins.
Okay, y'all had a run in the 80s.
It's hard. I mean, I remember that Super Bowl '91, but I was 8. So
who was that? Hostetler? No, who was y'all?
Mark Rippon.
Oh yeah, I knew it was one of those bums.
But see, he was not what you would call an elite quarterback.
Did you hear what I just said? I knew it was one of those bums.
I mean,
it wasn't Theismann and it wasn't Doug Williams. They was G's.
Doug was an amazing quarterback. Yeah, absolutely.
Now I have different flavors right here. Would you like to try the white, the Christmas, or the black and gold? And this is a parting gift.
I mean, this is Christmas in, what month are we in now?
This is February.
February. I'm going to go with the black and gold.
Black and gold?
I know.
Would you like a mini black and gold or a big black and gold?
I'm 6'5", you know what I want. Thank you. That's beautiful.
Then I got to give you a baby one too when you tone it down a little bit. You know what the doctors say? Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. You dig? We inside the Smoker studio every day, AKA real nigga shit. Now I'm gonna ask you some questions and you can answer to the best of your ability.
Okay.
What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up?
Where am I right now? I travel a lot.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
Ass or titties?
You already know. Actually, well, both.
Thank
if you're lucky enough.
If you don't stop playing and push both on it, both. What are your favorite pair of shoes of all time?
I've got some Onitsuka Tigers that are not like, they're not grails at all, but I have like 24 different colors and they just make me so happy.
It is.
They're such sleeper shoes.
It's what puts comfort on your feet, man. What is your favorite cartoon of all time?
Ooh, X-Men, the animated series.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Tacos.
How many times a day do you think about sex?
It depends on the day. Half dozen.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Ooh, I was a box mover in FedEx at like taking boxes off the trucks and throwing them onto the conveyor belt. And it was the best exercise in any job I've ever had, but it was brutal because there was no ventilation. Yeah, just moving boxes all day. But I was fit. I
had that look about yourself, huh?
That helped, yeah.
If you were stuck on an island for a year and could only listen to 3 albums, what would they be?
The Black Album, Metallica, and Jay, both great albums. And probably Smells Like, well, no, never mind. By Nirvana.
If you could remake any movie and star in it, what would it be?
If I went pure movie, no, it'd be like I mean, I'd have to get ready for the role, but like Terminator 2, and you know, tell Arnold to sit this one out.
When you come back as the half robot, half human.
Yeah.
That's cold. That's a great movie right there too. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Think about it. This is a superpower.
Yeah, coming up with answers for trivia questions.
There's no time clock. You have no time clock here.
If I'm trying to, maybe Wolverine healing.
The one that can get shot and then the bullet, the wound heal up.
Yeah, I mean, Wolverine had the super healing. Yeah, probably that one. I'm also going to shamelessly plug, while I have a platform, the best superpower you could learn right now is programming. And I say this nonstop. Like, we need, like,
specifically programming
software, like learning, whether it's building websites, building apps. Like, you could literally start to learn how to code for free right now. Just start with a Google search. It's the most valuable. It's the new literacy, basically. Yeah. And every new business is going to have software in it. And I can't tell enough people to get involved, because the industry right now is, you know, overwhelmingly male, overwhelmingly white, and like, from a societal standpoint, if you have a thing that is like the new literacy and only a small portion of people have it, I mean, look, they're minting, look at all the billionaire stories of the last decade. These are all 20-somethings who started something and within 10 years are now billionaires. That's a superpower. And if you don't have it, you will really, really be limited in how much you can just be a part of this economy and this society. And we need as many people as possible to be a part of it, to have this superpower.
You hear that from a guru, from a real superhero, giving you some super game. So power up and get your shit together. Is it anybody that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet? And that could be on a business level, on any form. Like, I
mean, Snoop, I'd love to collaborate with you on something, man.
Let's get it.
Yeah, all right.
Well, there it is. There, I'm
Camera's rolling.
This right here is called Finish the Sentence. I'm gonna start it, then you finish.
Okay.
I always wake up.
Wait, that's the sentence?
You gotta finish it.
Period. I hope I always wake up.
No, you have to finish the sentence. I always wake up.
And check my phone?
Thank you. That's a great fucking answer. That sounds like everybody in America.
Yeah.
Or check to see if I have my phone. Or if she has my phone. If I could see anybody perform, dead or alive, I'd want to see
Jimi Hendrix.
I look for blank in a woman.
Heart.
If I wasn't a boss, I'd be a...
I don't know. I really can't even imagine. I have no idea. Football player? There we go. I'd be a pro football player. Thank you, Lizzie.
My favorite position is?
CEO or co-founder.
Thank you for tuning in to the GGN News Network. I'm your host with the most, Finding Nemo, a.k.a. Nemo Hoes. If you want to find out more about Reddit, you can hit him up and he'll point you where?
Reddit.com, or you can download the app, which is on Android and iOS. We should do a post. Lizzie's like, plug the app. We should plug. It's got 5 stars. It's a good app.
Let me see what it do.
We should do a post on our trees right now. So she's got the Our Trees community right here.
Okay.
Hope we get on the front page.
It's gonna be big.
All right, hold up.
There's no way we're not going to be on the front page when I do this.
Yes.
That's front page off top.
That's that good front page post. What's our title? We need an interesting title.
Doobie Brothers.
Gosh, not Rooney. Don't autocorrect.
Oh, they thought you was saying.
There we go. Okay. Period. Post.